All right, so first off, all praise to Yahweh, in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, otherwise known as GMS for short, but also known as the Prophets of Doom. These are where I have learned this truth and where I am still learning this truth. And also, Shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel. Lord willing, I'm of that number. All right, so this video is going to be in Revelation, all right, chapter 13 and verse 15. Okay, before we get there, we're going to start at verse 1 and read up to 15. Okay, and then we'll go into it a little bit. So, Lord willing, this comes through as sincere and that it is edifying. All right. So, Revelation 13 and verse 1, it says, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority. And I saw one of his heads, as it were, wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wandered after the beast, and they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? There was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and them that dwelt in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given over him, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed." All right, and now verse 15, the one that we're going to, hold on. No, verse 13. "And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live." Now, before we get to 15, which is the verse that we're going to go into, I do want to speak on 14 just a minute, all right? Another one of those miracles is getting the world to just believe their word, all right, without going into the scriptures and looking. All right, they play a part in that. The Lord used them as a filtering mechanism. So if you believe their word over the Lord's, or you reference their word over referencing the word's Lord, or the Lord's word, or the men that the Lord sent, all right, that falls in line with those miracles, and that is also foretelling. Right, it's foretelling that you are more than likely going to side with this beast. Okay. All right. So I did want to add that to what we spoke about in the last video. All right. So, verse 15 now. It reads, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed." So I'm going to try to be straight to the point. Keep this really simple. All right, so let's go back to 15 and break this down line by line. All right. "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast." What is the image of the beast? All right, the manner of life, the philosophies and beliefs, all right, their way of life, the deception, the craftiness, all right, that is the image of the beast. The deception, anything contrary to the Lord goes into the image of the beast. Remember the manner of life, all right, and their manner of life is to be contrary to the Lord. Okay, let's go in here and look up image again.
Strong's G 1504, icon. Icon.
Right, or like icon. Okay. As a matter of fact, we're going to look up the definition of icon in a second. So it says an image, figure, or likeness. So if you trust in these people, okay, and you start following in their ways, your manner of life is like theirs, which means they are giving life to the beast. All right. You are actually giving life to the beast. You are causing the beast to speak when you act a certain way. You can teach just in your actions. All right, giving life to the beast. And in doing this, the more people that do this, or even if there was one person that do it, right, it is causing the beast to speak. Okay, the image of the beast to speak. Okay, all right. So in that word icon, it says an image, figure, or likeness. Okay, used of the moral likeness. All right, the image of one. Okay, and one in whom the likeness of anyone is seen. You see? Strong's definition, it says a likeness, all right? Figuratively, a representation, a resemblance. So if your manner of life is likened unto the beast, okay, this power structure, all right, if you believe in this thing and you're moving in a certain way, actually, you're moving contrary to the Lord, all right? You're moving in the way of this beast, right? Which means you have a likeness, or you are figuratively a representation, because you are a resemblance of the beast. All right. They don't have to go door to door to teach people how to be like them. All right. They can show you through their media. All right. They can show you through another person that worships them. Okay. That is in their likeness. And you may be thinking that you're taking little bits and pieces of things that you like and leaving the rest of it that is clearly against the Lord alone. But those things that you pick and choose, okay, may be against the Lord, because you pick and choose from the Lord's word too. All right. If you're walking outside of the ways of the Lord, you're just walking outside of the ways of the Lord. That's all. You can't straddle the fence, man. Okay. So again, figuratively, a representation, because you resemble, okay, the manner of life of the beast, anything contrary to the Lord. All right. It's philosophies, it's beliefs, all right, it's a manner of life. And in walking in that way, okay, that is this man having power. He had the power to give life unto the image of the beast. How did he have power to give? Because he took what he continued, all right, in the likeness, in the manner of life of the beast, and he gave you their traditions. All right, people just follow blindly. All right. And the more pleasing this, the more soothsaying that this man does, the more wrapped up in his manner of life that you become. Again, I can't stress enough that their traditions have become your own. Okay? Their traditions have become your own. That's why you resemble. All right? Anything that is contrary to the Lord. All right? You like walking in that way. And that really sums up the whole verse. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, okay, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Now, what does that mean? All of you who see that we are walking contrary to this world, or contrary to you, or contrary to the things that you think are what defines a good person, okay? Anything that you think goes against that, which most definitely is our walk, we are contrary to them. We are contrary to this world, this beast, as much as this beast is contrary to us, okay? And all of you who are caught up in the image or the manner of life of this thing, you see us as an enemy to you also. All right, you start scoffing at what we tell you that the Lord is saying, even though you can read it in this book. All right, all you have to do is listen. All right, but that is a spiritual power. Okay, so you come against the Lord because you are in the manner of the beast. All right, you resemble them. What does it say? You are a representation of them because you resemble them. So anything that irks you, okay, anything that we tell you out of these scriptures, basically, okay, for instance, and I always point to this simple thing: quit eating the shit at the bottom of the ocean, man. Quit eating shrimp and crab and catfish, these bottom feeders. Okay, quit eating this damn swine. Okay, you get upset over it. All right, you get upset over it because that is, again, not what you represent. All right, the beast doesn't represent righteousness. He does not represent anything that has to do with the Lord. Okay, so when we tell you these things, you get caught up in that. You automatically get angry or get upset or start scoffing. All right, another thing that you do is you call us a cult. You don't even know what the word means. We know what the world means by that word. All right, we know what they mean, but they don't know what that word means. All right, you are in a cult. Whether you know it or not, you are in a cult. All right, if you follow something, you are in a cult. Okay, we follow the Lord. You follow this beast, though. Okay, and the beast isn't gonna win, man. And if you're holding to the beast side, you are going to find death, as it said there in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. The last two verses. Let's go there really quick and get that again. Let's see. Oops, I'm in the wrong. Hold up. I wasn't in the wrong one. Hold on a second. As a matter of fact, got it right here. So let's go in here to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. The last two verses. Man, this is what it's going to take for y'all to find out, man. And this man, all right, misery loves company. So y'all going to share in the pain and the indignation of the Lord at the end of all this, man. And that's just what it's going to take for a lot of you, for most Israelites. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, verses 23 and 24. For Yahweh Baal Hashem Yahweh Shai created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. Now, that's what you got coming. All right. The more you walk in the likeness, resembling this beast, all right, being a representative of this beast, all right, the more that shows that he has a hold of you. All right, the more you come against his truth, the more you call his names, all right, the more you dress up in purple, put a fake afro on, and think you can just get away with it because the world finds you funny on YouTube. All right, I'm speaking to Drewski. I seen that little video that the brother's been putting up. And I even watched some of your stuff before, but that shit right there, man, a lot of y'all gonna get fucked up. All right, it's all fun and games until something happens, man. Okay, it's all fun and games till something happens. Then y'all gonna be crying, man. All that laughter y'all doing now is gonna turn into tears and pain. All right, death. Okay. So again, Revelation 13 and 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Yeah, that's what we're going. So, being that most of the world, all right, being that most of the world of Israel doesn't recognize the Lord's voice, and being that most of the world does not have a true relationship with the true and living power, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, guess what? Guess what's going to happen since you're walking in the image of the beast? Most of y'all want us dead, man. Most of y'all want us dead and are going to end up getting some of us killed. Okay? All right? That's just what's going to happen. Okay? Because the ones that you represent are going to command that to happen sooner or later. Okay? In that definition, it says the image of one. The definition of that icon, it says applied to a man on account of his power of command. So if you are in the image of a certain person, all right, you are under the command of that person. If you are representing that person, right, obviously he has command over you. And when he commands that we should be killed, there's some of you out there is not going to hesitate. You know, a lot of you out there are not going to hesitate. Maybe you won't do it directly, but it's going to be indirectly then. Okay? Man. So that's what this means. Since we are outside of what you believe, right? Since we are outside of what the world finds good, since we are outside of that kumbaya spirit with the whole world, all right? You see us as not right. All right, but we know that the one that controls your mind, that has a hold of your mind, all right, the yoke of iron may not be around your neck anymore, Israel, but your mind, man, most of y'all, all right, he still has you. Okay? But this is how prophecy said things would be. But just like we read here in well, let's go here. At the top of Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. We read how the mind of the wicked works, which is what Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 is about. All right, so if you don't remember that, all right, I'd recommend you go back and read it. But even the first verse, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, for the ungodly said reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Okay, and it goes on to give you their mind state, what their heart, what is on their heart. All right, and it's not right, man. Let's see here. Let's just ask, what does not aright mean? Let's see. It says, not aright is a slightly archaic or formal way of saying not correctly, not properly, or incorrectly. The word aright means in a right way or correctly, so not aright means the opposite. It is often used to express uncertainty or to state that something is wrong. Okay? And there was another word that I was going to look up. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. I thought there was another word that we were going to... Oh, the word icon. The actual word icon. Let's see what icon means. And Tawada Yahweh Baal Shemi Awashai. I didn't know that word was every... I wasn't even thinking about that word anymore. It just came back. So define icon.
Icon.
We're going to go to definition 2. It says a person or thing regarded as a representative symbol or as worthy of veneration. What does veneration mean?
Veneration.
Great respect, reverence, or similar words, worship, adoration, homage, exaltation. Let's see what worship is.
Worship.
The feeling or expression of reverence and adoration for a deity. All right, and this is what these people want to be. The deity. All right. Adoration or devotion comparable to religious homage shown toward a person or principle. It says honor given to someone in recognition of their merit.
Merit.
The quality of being particularly good or worthy, especially so as to deserve praise or reward. Remember, at the end of 15, it said, and cause that as many as would not worship the beast, or excuse me, not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So we're not going to be showing them praise. Okay? We're not going to be showing them praise. All right? We don't see them, we don't deem them worthy of praise or adoration or devotion or homage or reverence or respect. All right? Or adulation. Okay? Or worshiping. We don't see that. All right? We know it to be the opposite of that. They are the basest of men. Okay? They are the basis of men, not a superhero. Right? Not a hero, not a star, not a mega star, not a celebrity. In this world they are. But this world is upside down right now. Okay? It's going to be turned right side up pretty soon. All right? And that just made me think of another, what was that I was going to look up just now? Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon. Chapter 2 again. Let's go. He knows that we see him for what he is. All right, let's start Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 12. It says, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. All right. He upbraideth us with our offending the law. Define upbraideth. Upbraideth is the archaic third-person singular form of the verb to upbraid, meaning to scold severely or to criticize harshly. Yes, we criticize and scold severely, all right, the kings or the the nobles of the earth. Okay, this beast. Okay, yeah, we upbraideth him. All right, so hold on, let me see. We start at Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and 12 at the top again. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law. Yeah, we criticize you harshly for offending the law. You go as far as to say that the law, statutes, and commandments are done and over with. And Israel, for the most part, believes it. All right? Which can go into those miracles that he's working. All right? He done took y'all's minds by way of craftiness, deception. Okay? Let's see here. It says, he upbraideth us with our offending the law, and he objecteth to our infamy, the transgressings of our education. Let's see what that means. I'll even ask in simple terms. In simple terms, what is meant by, what does it say? Objecteth to our infamy. I'll just put objecting to one's infamy. Objecting to one's infamy. The transgressings of their education. All right, it says the phrase objecting to one's infamy, the transgressings of their education, means to publicly reject or protest the shame brought on by faulty or inadequate education. It suggests that the person's bad reputation or wrongful actions are a direct result of how they were taught or mistaught by the education system. The concept is complex, but its meaning can be broken down into three parts. Objecting to one's infamy. All right, it says this is a refusal to accept a bad reputation or the disgrace that comes from being known for something dishonorable. All right, when you go into or when you start living in the manner of life of these people or in the image of the beast, right, you are living a dishonorable life, man, when it comes to the Lord, right? And it is a disgrace, right? And you have fulfilled the bad reputation, right, that the 2/3 have in the scriptures, okay? And we refuse to go that way, all right? Once the Lord lights on us, Lord willing, we are of the remnant and the elect. We refuse to go that way, all right? The elect and the remnant refuse to go that way. So as far as the transgressings, it says this refers to the violations, missteps, or failings of the educational system. These are the flaws in what was taught or the neglect of what should have been taught. That says that pretty plainly right there. Okay, even outside of the scriptures, okay? First of all, simply when it comes to the scriptures, you don't point anyone to the truth of the scriptures, Esau. All right? You have everyone walking outside of the truth, all right? But let's talk about the education system, especially over here in Babylon the Great. You don't teach people what is meant to be, or what is needed to survive, all right? You teach them how to serve you. This is what your education system is all about. And after you teach them, all right, they are in over their head when it comes to debt, okay? Everything about you is wicked, man. All right, it says this specifies the source of the problem. It is not the person's inherent character that is at fault, but rather the education they received that led them astray. And that's exactly speaking to you Israelites out there. Okay? You have been taught, you have actually been indoctrinated and institutionalized. All right? This whole world being upside down is an institution. It is Esau's institution. Okay? He's treating it like it's a private prison system, man. This whole world. Okay? And we can see the road, we can see the end of the road, how this world would go, all right, if these scriptures were not true. All right, no one will live. No one, no thing will live, all right, if this man stays in power. All right, because this is the way he goes. This is the way that the world goes. He's been in power. Why isn't anything fixed yet? He has enough money. Why is there homelessness? Why are there people hungry? Okay? All right? Those are just a couple of examples. Why don't people know the Lord, man? Why don't they know the truth of the scriptures? Okay? Because you were set up to throw people off, to filter people out. All right? And you've done a very good job at that, man. Okay? So let me see something really quick. Let's look at this. And an example in practice. Let's look at this. It says, imagine a person who has become known for repeating harmful falsehoods they were taught as a child. They might later recognize the harm their words have caused, and you can also say their actions, right? Because you don't need a chalkboard and chalk to teach people. Okay? They might later realize the harm their words have caused. In this case, objecting to one's infamy would mean rejecting the shame. The person publicly renounces their old harmful beliefs. This is the path that we've taken. Okay? All right, it says they would point out that their disgrace is a direct consequence of a flawed education that failed to teach them critical thinking or true facts. All right, you have us who point these things out, many aspects of these things out, and then those who are just following blindly. Okay? And not speaking up about it. All right, y'all just staying in the system one way or another. Okay, it says this phrase essentially shifts the blame from the individual to the system that educated them, arguing that their wrongdoing is a tragic result of miseducation. All right, and we were all being educated by Esau in this wicked world. Okay, because Esau got a lot of the things that he does, the wickedness, he got it from other kingdoms and empires. All right, but this, he has taken the ball and ran with it. All right, he has overdone it, and he's gonna have to deal with things that he's done. Okay, and he wants to keep this going. All right, he's using it to his benefit, not telling the truth, even though he knows his education is flawed. He knows it's flawed to the betterment or to the detriment of the people that are learning from him. He's not trying to fix it at all. All right. So let me see. Let me do that again. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 12. It says, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objecteth to our infamy, the transgressings of our education. He professeth to have the knowledge of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord. He was made to reprove our thoughts. Now, this is him speaking on us, all right? He knows that we are, again, as contrary as he is to us, we are to him. It says, he is grievous unto us even to behold. Okay? So he knows who we are. He sees us and we see him. And they do not like to see it. All right, it's making these people scared, man. But you Israelites who are lost, all you see is what they tell you to see. All right? Because again, for prophecy's sake, this is all happening. It says, he is grievous unto us even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, is his father. Now, do you hear that though? He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed. Why would it be any other way? All right, so what they're saying is their wickedness. All right, their wicked ways, them as being the wicked, are going to be blessed. That's what they're reaching for. That's the goal that they are truly reaching for, man. All right, and their pride is up here with it. And the people who walk contrary to the Lord plays a part in that. All right, they see that they have the world blinded, man, caught up in their web. So of course their pride is going to be through the roof. All right, so let's read Revelation 13 and 15 one more time. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Okay. So I hope this came through as sincere and edifying. All right. And with that, all right, all praise to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai and in the name of the Holy Spirit. All right. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, otherwise known as GMS for short, but also known as the prophets of doom. These are where I have learned this truth and where I am still learning this truth. And also, Shalom, all right, to the remnant and the elect of Israel. Okay, Lord willing, I'm of that number, and Lord willing, we'll see you in the next video. Shalom.